score.
No, I didn't actually.
It's 72 and change, and you're 6th.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. I was actually thrilled with how he went. You know him. You've seen him in the mud before. He's not always a good mudder, so we were out there playing around in the warm-up and really making sure he's okay with it splashing. It kind of backs him off a little bit. But as I was going through, I was like, okay, he's really staying with me. He's really trying, and I was so happy with him. I mean, those are not the easiest conditions, and I thought he didn't get phased at all.
A European reporter asked me if water bothered him. She said, "Oh, he looks so relaxed." So there you go.
Well, there you go. If we come along, we can cover it up well and make it look like he loves getting splashed in the face.
Yeah.
How's the footing?
It's holding up okay, actually.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed. Yeah, we warmed up a little in the indoor, which is nice, and then the last 10 minutes I took him out in the standing water and made him splash around, but it felt real stable in there because he could get a little iffy if the footing's not stable, and he didn't feel like that, so I think the horses will tell you.
What happened in the ones? Was it something in particular?
I think, it's always my fault, so I think I got a little too off my seat. He got a little backed off with the water, and I maybe jumped a little ahead of him rather than, normally he's always dragging me to the other end of the arena, so it's always a little different feel of different situations.
But you have to feel great because it's really a wonderful thing for the team at this point. I mean, that's probably close to the score you hoped for? Or?
That was my goal, was to hit a 72, so I'm thrilled. Yeah, really happy. I got a ride at the Olympics with him as an individual. This is my first, I've done Nations Cups at home in the U.S., but this is my first championships as a team, and so you just want so badly to do well for your teammates, and that was, really hoping we could hold them up and get a nice score so that they can go out there and shine tomorrow and keep raising the bar.
Was there something in particular you've been working on since Gladstone? Because I think he looks better than he did at Gladstone. He looks really elastic, and he just has a fluidity and a power to him. He looks great.
Thank you. He feels great, and he's just been getting fitter and fitter as the season's been going over here, getting to hit different shows in different environments over in Europe. And we have been working, just like you said, just trying to, now he knows everything now. Now it's a matter of me keeping it fluid and keeping it smooth and trusting in areas where, I've been riding for 9 years. Sometimes it almost, you think too much about the past. So now I have to say, okay, no, he knows his job. Now I can trust, pick up a half a point here and a half a point there and try to make it all as smooth as possible.
What do you think he thought of the stadium? Did you get any sort of feedback from him when he went in there with all the people in there?
He handled it way better than I thought. He didn't seem phased at all. When we went in for the initial schooling, he was a little on edge, but handled it really well. He still kept with me really well, and then today I don't even think he noticed. So
it doesn't seem quite as electric and nutty as London.
Definitely.
I mean,
not.
there are fewer
spectators. What I think the big difference is that London had the metal bleachers and the holding block, and so right before you went in, everyone gets to go up and down between horses, and in London that was like a little much for him to handle, so all of a sudden there's a minute, everyone run up and down the bleachers, and so I think this is a more stable feeling, and it's acoustically not too freaky for him. It's actually much more comfortable than I thought when I first walked in, and there was like nothing out there. There was just a huge stadium. It was like, oh my god! But now they filled it in really nicely, and it seems really good.
So there was a bit of controversy, I know, with selecting the team, and then now this being your first team experience. We're going to talk about how you've dealt with all that mentally coming into this.
Yeah, there was some changes made towards the end of the process, and I really think everyone had not only team's best interest at heart, but riders' best interest, trying to put horses in combinations where they're going to shine at the moment, and I think it sorted itself out, and I think all we had to do was keep trying to prove ourselves, as the summer went along, to let Wizard speak for himself, and you just hope it turned out the way it did, and so I was happy about that.
Is that tough, from a sort of sports psychology perspective, and just going in with the pressure of a team? How do you deal with that sort of before you go in the ring or at home?
Try not to think about it too much, but I think Caroline Rothman is a beautiful rider, and we got really close on this trip and spent a lot of time together, and so it's certainly like we don't have any animosity for each other. It's like she's so great and her horse is great, and we're all going to be doing great things in the future. So I think in the end it was a really positive experience for everyone.
How do you like the new chaperon?
Nice, huh?
Very pretty.
Yeah, it's like the nicest thing I own now.
I'll never take it off. So what would be your goals? I mean, looking forward to the Grand Prix special, anything you'd want to tweak or just try
hopefully it won't be quite as rainy and we can go even a little bit more.
Nice.
But I think now that he's gone in and handled it, I knew he was going to be amped up, so I've been taking him out and kind of walk track cantering long and low, trying to burn off a little energy. Now I think we've got a couple days to build the energy back up, and now I feel more comfortable going in with even a little bit more horse. And the special for us has always been one of our stronger tests anyways. For I think the big extensions, the collection
they
shows them off
strengths.
well. So So I'm very excited for that one. I never worry too much about that one once we get this one out of the way.
So Debbie was originally not supposed to come, right? But now she decided to come.
Debbie's been back and forth to Europe so many times this summer. She flew over for Rotterdam, and then she flew home, and then she flew over for Aachen, and then flew home, and then flew back for Hickstead, and then went back. And so she was going to try to stay home and run the farm, and then when it all shook out and they ended up selecting me for the team, I called her and I was like, Debbie, guess what? And she coaches Laura Graves as well. And so she was like, next day, booked a flight, had to leave at 3 a.m. from Idaho to drive to the airport. And she calls us up. She goes, you girls better know how much I love you right now. It's 3 a.m. I'm driving in the freezing cold for 2 hours to get to the airport. And it's her birthday on Wednesday.
Oh, good.
So she's going to be celebrating her birthday here. Yeah.
Did she tell you anything? Does she have like last words of advice right before you go in the ring? Is it something?
No, just I've worked with her for so long. Having her here, I think it's just such like having a rock that's steady. And then Robert's been wonderful as well. They've all been so supportive. The whole USCF staff this entire summer has been incredible. I've never had such like a catered trip where everything's arranged and taken care of, and you really can just focus on your riding and your training. It's made a huge difference.
How's the whole experience so far in Normandy? Have you picked up any French? Or?
Not so much. I keep accidentally speaking Spanish though when they're not communicating, because that's what comes out when I'm like, see, and they're like, no. No, I think it's really been fun so far.